Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Let's see if this is actually working with nobody in the office. So, let's see. I did start streaming. I am green. I click on there, and it has that look like it's going to work. There we are. And that looks like, yes, it is. We're working. I hear the sound, too. This is pretty cool. All right. Let's get the charts up there and connect to that right there. There we go. And make that 2. Oh, I got to connect there like that. And there it is. There we go. All right. So, Merry Christmas, I guess that's what it is. It's Christmas Eve. And there is, let's take a look at the Swiss to start off with. It is quiet, but check it out. We're seeing some light action, very light action. Most of the world is probably already shut down for this. I myself will be tuning in. I haven't watched the Talking Heads as much, but I will be playing, just for old time's sake, CNBC, and they will be singing was it Happier Days Are Here? It's an old song from the Depression. I guess it is 1929, 1930. And the members of the New York Stock Exchange get together at 1 o'clock normally to sing that song on the main floor, but they're not going to do that then because it'll be closed at 1:15 or 1 o'clock in the so Eastern Standard Time. So they'll sing that probably like around 10:30, 11, probably like around 11 o'clock or right around noon. They'll sing it. So we'll have CNBC on, doing that, and that'll be kind of fun. And just the old days. See some of the traditions. I guess yesterday at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. No, 3:33. Is it 3:33? No, it would be today. So they had to do it yesterday. If you ever watch the New York Stock Exchange on the TV set live, or on the computer at this point in time, you'll hear at 3:33. I'm going to talk about some of the traditions that happen this time of the year. They do a couple singing traditions, and then at 3:33 on Christmas and all holidays coming, they start making animal noises like as if they're in the jungle. And you hear whoop, and then you hear it slowly starting around 3:31. You hear somebody else across the floor going whoop whoop, and then at 3:33, when the clock hits 3:33, you hear whoop whoop whoop, and you hear it all over the trading floor. Okay, and there's not many traders now on the floor, but we used to do a lot of stupid things. And then, like I said, they get together and they all sing "Happier Days Are Coming" or something like that. It's one of those depression songs they've done for 90 years, and that's usually done at 1:32 in the afternoon. I think it's 1:30 they do it, and so the markets are going to be closed by 1 o'clock basically. So they have to do it earlier. I think I don't remember the last. I think like 4 or 5 years ago we had the same situation where they shut the market down 3 hours earlier, and they did it at like 11:30 instead of 1:30 or something like that. These are holiday traditions. They do this all the time, and it's always fun. I guess the sad part is who's not there anymore. There are some people who had done it for 60 years and 70 years, and they were a runner or a clerk back in the 30s and the 40s. We used to have one of those on one of the other exchange floors where they were a clerk on the New York Stock Exchange floor during the crash of 1929. And he would dress in a beautiful suit every other day or so and show up on the trading floor, and the guy would never talk to anybody. He would just read the tape. And every so often they would talk to him a little bit. Traders would try to talk to him, and he would just read the tape, have his shoes shine. Back in those days, we used to have shoe shine guys on the trading floor. People would come around shining your shoes. It's a real schoolyard, The exchange floors. The old exchange floors were very old schoolyards. So anyway, that's where we are. Just talking about some traditions that we see from the old days that try to happen today, and that's where it's at. So let's take a look at it. There is the Swiss. We have the. Let's put the Swiss up on the J4X right there. Let's see, where is it at? There is Swiss franc right there. There's the saltine against the dollar. You can see it's just a little bit firm. It is the holidays. I don't expect a lot of accuracy out of any of these markets at this point in time. They're all sloppy and trying to do things. You can see here on our Chicago Quant right there doing the same thing. It's kind of bouncing along, just a little firm in there. You can see it's in a daily buy now for a couple days. Where's it on the spreadsheet? 2 days on the spreadsheet right there, you can see. And 4 weeks in a sell. Obviously, it's not going to go climbing up. No one's around even. I remember, here's a currency one. Back in the old days when we traded cash currency options, right, at the exchange in Philadelphia. Remember, Doc has been a member of all these exchanges, the New York Stock Exchange and the Chicago Mercantile Exchange and the CBOT and the Amex in New York and the New York and the CEC at the World Trade Center. God may it rest in peace. That in the World Trade Center buildings where they fell down. And then the Philadelphia Stock Exchange, the Philadelphia Options Exchange, and the Philadelphia Currency Exchange. Also, the Philadelphia Futures Exchange. Been on seats on all of them somewhere along the line. Even when I don't even know I'm on one of the seats, someone will leave my name on a seat. They have to have a name on a seat. They stick my name on it. So that's what that is. So then, on the currency exchange, we used to have the teller rates. And the teller rates used to show us where the bank markets are. And we'd be able to see the quotes coming in from all the banks. And when it came to Christmas time, it would slowly get so slow that after a while you'd see Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Back in the days when I was on the trading floor, or in the beginning when I was on the trading floor, because those days were changing then, Europe would stay closed from Christmas all the way to like the second or third day after New Year's. They would be closed for like 8 days. Switzerland would be closed. Everybody would be closed. They didn't open up until the sometimes they would be closed 6-7 days. So the teller rate they used to play games that was not supposedly played games on. It was the interbank market, but they would be playing games this time of the day. They'd be starting to do some foolish things. So anyway, there we are. Let's just talk about what we see right now, because we are in a very active market even today. As much as it's not, it is a very dynamic market up until a couple hours ago, and so, or at least till yesterday. And so what you see here now is you can see the Swiss moving up, and since the Swiss is moving up, obviously the euro is moving up. Let's put the euro up on the J4X, and I'm sure it is going down in value, not going up in value, because the Swiss is going up in value. So that means, see, a little red there, going down in value. That's what it's supposed to be doing. And at the same time, when we look at it on Doc's work right here, you can see it went into a sell 2 days ago. There's no line there, of course, but you can go over to the fact check spreadsheet, and where's it at? Right there. You can see on line 14, 2 days in a sell, 9 days in a buy. Obviously, this thing doesn't look like it's going to go after the weekly whatsoever, so don't worry about that. Monday, the markets will be back to relative normal. There'll be real action. Switzerland will be open, London will be open, and New York will be open, and the rest of the world will be open. So, and there'll be live action for a good solid 4 days, all the way up till I don't think they're not closing the market early in the United States on Thursday. Because people try to get their positions adjusted for taxes all the way to the last second, basically. And so you can see there's the euro. It's moving down a little bit. Now, what's interesting is the cable. The cable is moving up. It closed in a daily buy yesterday. You can see that right there, the one above it on line 13. And let's put it up on the J4X right there. And at the same time, let's put it on, where is it at? Let's put it on the Chicago Quant. Let's see, right there. I got to use that mouse. There it is. You can see that it's making new highs. So today, the interbank market made it to 136.15.5. Is that 15 or 19? That's 19. Made 136.19.5, and 5 days ago it got to 130. Oh, it was higher. 136.24.5. So it hasn't taken out that high. Very interesting. And when we look to see when was the last time this, let's go to Dukascopy and do that. Let's take a look at the last time the British pound was up in the 136s. We'll make the J4X bigger. Let's put it as a weekly, like so. And let's go back and look, because it's been a while. It's got to be a couple years since we've seen cable trading that high. As it loads up, there is, what is that? That is November of 2019. Nope, not there. So if we scrunch it up a little bit, how do we do that? Scrunch it, see? You can see back in 2018, not there either. And you can see it all the way back to 2000, what is that? That's 2017, of April of 2017, right? Is that right? No, that's 2018. So 2018, so it's over 2 years ago since we've been up this high. That's what that is. So it shows you how the how the cable is being bought. We've been talking about that, thinking that it has to do that because sooner or later the hard Brexit will not matter. It just won't matter. Hard, soft, who cares? It's like soft taco shells versus hard taco shells. Doesn't really matter as long as it has what it has inside of it. And so, that's what's going on there when it comes to the British pound against the dollar and probably the British pound against everything. Matter of fact, if we go and take a look at Euro cable, let's see what the Euro cables looks like. That's line, what's that? Line 17, 16, 15. There it is right there. We're 2 weeks in a buy, 1 day in a sell. Let's go check that out. Right there. Yeah. And you can see it's holding up fairly well on the weekly, just a couple weeks in a buy, heading down, but nothing major, and it is the holidays. And we'll see. But I would believe that sooner or later that's going to be the, a good trade again, on the downside. That wouldn't surprise me any. Now, where do we go from here on the currencies? Usually we go take a look at the Turkish lira. And let's go check that out. There it is right there. Look at that nice little drop again. Lots of profit taking, I think, going on there. I mean, after being at 850, now we are challenging the 750 area, which is that 750 or 760? That's 760-ish area. Hasn't challenged I guess that was the first challenge. 751 dropped a full, I don't know, what is that, 100 handles? Something like that. And when the economic political news came out, and you can see here we're having no problem staying in a weekly sell. You can see we've been in a daily sell for a couple weeks now, and it's going down from the 8 area down to the half area. What's that, 50 handles right there alone? So half that sell off is right there. Anybody going to wish me a happy holiday? Just go ahead. You can throw something on the chat line. Do anything. Put smiley faces or something. Treat it like the old interbank market where out of nowhere people don't actually say anything. They just start doing things. And before you know it, they're saying Merry Christmas or Happy New Year or doing something because it's a holiday. The markets are, the markets. That's what's so neat about them. They are the markets no matter what. Electronic or not. Matter of fact, I saw an old partner open up a new operation. Hey, Phil. How are you? Good move. That's good. That's what you should be doing. It's that time of the year. Was it Joy to the World? Was that good something to all mankind? All that other stuff. It's supposed to be a joyous, peaceful time. The idea is supposed to be about peace, love, and and as the hippies used to say, a little on the side, something like that. So I think it's the way it should be. It should be very chill. A pastor friend of mine yesterday was talking about how in World War One about the troops coming out of the trenches and in the middle of on Christmas Eve and singing and little peacefulness during the middle of war. So nothing wrong with any of that. So that's where we are, and that's what's going on. So, um, what we'll see basically is the markets are going to be sideways. They'll become even more dormant. And I'm trying to remember, what did you look at yesterday, Phil? Was it gold and silver? Let's take a look at that. You know what I wanted to do also? I wanted to put the grains up there because I was really impressed with the way wheat took off. 2 days in a row, they keep on trying to push wheat down on us and looking like it's trying to threaten the weekly and the whole bit. And the next thing you know, it's they take off. I mean, just like zoom. There you go, Robin. Let's see. I want to see if there's anything trading live. Yep, right. Look at that. Look at soybeans today. Oh my God, they're really ripping. That's the Jan beans. Let's see what the wheat looks like. Wheat is looking very firm. That's live quote right there. Let's see what the corn is doing. Cornucopia. I was heading out for dinner last night. It was dark, and the combines were running. Someone was harvesting corn. It was that time of year. Yeah. Yeah, most of the crop has been harvested around here, but it's one of the laggard years. I mean, no more than a couple of weeks ago or a week ago, they were combining across the road, which was kind of like, whoa, why you guys like, and that's Wally's field, so I knew, I was like, okay, why? I guess I don't know. Wally's the one I taught about the options, so who knows? He hasn't sold the forward contracts in years. He's always doing the options, so he does the option spreads and options. So he's not pulling that stuff out of the ground. He's insured. He's protected. So in other words, everybody else selling their corn at $3.50 a bushel, and he's selling his corn at like $4.25 and $4.75 a bushel. Remember, we get good prices out here. Matter of fact, Purdue and was it Turkey Hill in Pennsylvania, they throw extra money at the crop just so that they can have the local crop. So they don't have the transport costs. But when you don't use the forward contract and you use the options instead, you get a chance to buy that Case bulldozer that you like to keep down near the river and not have to worry about it. Yeah. It's all been out in the Midwest for weeks. Not around here. We're still harvesting beans and corn, and a lot of guys around here are using options. So, because I've been beating at it at the 4-H fairground for 20 years, I've been telling them how to do it over and over and over again. Sooner or later, it sinks in. And same thing at the Grange. I'm a Grange member, and I beat at it there too. I rag on everybody about it. How not to give your crops away so fast, and how to insure them just as easily as anything else. How to how to market your crops, and so you can let it sit out there and not worry about it. Because we have rotten weather just like you guys do out in the Midwest. Yeah, I see. I used to camp up at the Dells, you know, um, on the weekends when I lived in Chicago, and I've seen the weather and all. We have just as junk weather. We get the same snow and rain, and it gets hard to get into the fields and the whole bit. Yeah, yeah. But we hedge ourselves a little different just from me beating the drum for a long time. And I do beat that drum. Stop giving your crop away. Yeah. Yeah, in the cattle country. Yeah. We are, I guess you could say we used to be called, we were in peach country because we used to battle between California and Georgia, who would produce more peaches. You know, when they had bad weather, we could actually overtake them, especially Georgia. You know, we would beat out. You know, but we're number 4 in peaches. We grow it all here. We have red wheat. We have white wheat. You know, we have blueberries. We're number 1 or 2 in blueberries. We have cattle. You know, one time I called into one of the sports shows and said it was me, Murray, from cattle country. They were like, "What the hell's he talking about? Cattle country in New Jersey?" But we do. You know, we have the oldest rodeo in America. Yeah, we have the oldest rodeo in America. So you might ride at Mesquite or you might ride at Cowtown. Yeah, you know what, Stefan? Soybeans are very diversified. You can get 3 things out of the soybean. You know, you get the meal to feed the animals with, and that's from the crush, and you got the oil, which you know ends up in all kinds of things, and then you got the actual product itself, the bean. You know, you can make tofu or something from that. So you know, there's a lot of potential in the bean. That's soybeans or something, and I mean, you can see they're all moving up. Remember, this is a currency show, and one of the reasons why we can talk about these commodities in the currency show is because anything dollar denominated nowadays is has become a currency. And so, I mean, we do commodities here. We do gold and silver, and we do, you know, that's all part of the currencies. But commodities, anything denominated in dollars in big terms, has become a currency. So there's a lot of potential in a lot of these products that weren't there decades ago. So, and for anybody out there that wants to talk options in grains and so forth, no problem. I've always told Robin I'd gladly do a Zoom or do. Matter of fact, I think we developed a website, a Chicago Quant YouTube channel we have that we don't use that much, but we can get that rolling along, and people can tune into that at a separate time after markets are closed, and we could. I could explain the process over and over again. I can't tell you how many people say to me today, you know, privately, you know, I want to learn options one day. They say that year in and year out. That's good. Let's do it. Had somebody yesterday. One of my traders said that. You know, he's a scalper, and he calls into the show once in a while. You know, he calls me on the phone and he talks about trading live, and it's like, I want to trade options one day. I want to trade. A lot of everybody says that to me. I want to trade options one day. Matter of fact, I just saw my old options group that I was partners at open something up in Princeton, and so, you know, basically 3/4 of New Jersey is agricultural. And then what you do is you see Hope. What do you see? You see Hudson County, and you see Union County, all along the New York City area, which has like 2/3 of the population right there. And so, basically, I'll tell you how country we are. South of Trenton, which is about 50% down from there, you know, halfway down the state. 5 more trucks. Let's see, was it? How's it? Trucks are registered 5 times more. You know, in other words, you know, when you get you register your vehicle every couple years, 5 times more trucks are registered south of Trenton than all of the rest of the state combined together. And we're only like 500,000 people down here, you know, because we're mostly country. And then you go up to Princeton and around it. Princeton is outside of Trenton. And you run all the way up, straight up the line, and that's all there is crops. There's just crops and crops, and it looks like Wisconsin and northwestern Wisconsin, Illinois, and you know, I used to go up into Wisconsin and think, oh man, I hate to run a tractor on that. All those rocks. Looks like Connecticut. Connecticut looks the same way too, halfway up. So, yeah, we can take a look at that. Yeah. Well, we got the oldest rodeo in America. You can go to Mesquite or Texas. You go to a rodeo there and you say you're from Cowtown. They know you're from Cowtown, South Jersey. We're the oldest rodeo in America. We ride, and our points count at Mesquite. So you ride it in Cowtown. That's the name of the town, actually, Cowtown. It's Sharptown. You ride in the Sharptown, Woodstown area. You ride out of there, and your points count nationally. So, but, everybody knows, what exit are you from? New Jersey Turnpike. And so, the two big counties along the New York border, are captured by New York. You got 8-9 million people, 10 million people in New York, city area. And then, you get an overflow of that. You get 3 or 4 million. I think we have 7 million people in New Jersey. And then the other 2 million are all along the agriculture. Matter of fact, rural delivery was created. Rural mail delivery was created in New Jersey by New Jersey Grange. And New Jersey State Police was created by the New Jersey Grange. So we're ag people. And I know we're overrun by those city slickers, but that's what we are. Matter of fact, people used to come up from Alabama and Mississippi and say, how come we see more Southern, flags in South Jersey, in the 4 counties? And it was our congressman, who our retiring congressman, Lou Biondo, Republican, country boy, Dixiecrat, who was a Republican. And then Van Drew got elected as a Democrat because Frank retired, and he's the one that switched for Trump. So don't include us in the rest of the goofy state of New Jersey. We're always talking about succession. All right, there we go. So let's take a look at those soybeans, because Stefan was saying, hey, what the hell's that all about? Let's go take a look at the March ones. And we can compare any currency. Anybody wants to see a currency, just yell, and we'll go take a look at it. We can take a look at the Canadian currency, too, because I know a lot of the traders and farmers up in Canada deal with the currency all the time. And then we look at the NASCAD. Again, farmers are dealing with the NASCAD. You can see now March beans. Look at that. They're barely moving. But let's look at Jan beans again. Jan beans are gapping up. Look at that compared to yesterday. Let's reload that. Something looks wrong about that. There you go. That's even better. There you go. Yeah, so there you go. So Jan beans yesterday closed at 12.58. Let's round it out to 12.59 since it's at 3/4. So you're looking at 12.59, and right now they're trading at with a high at 12.74 1/4. So, Jan beans are looking pretty firm there. Now let's go look at March beans. And for the currency traders, if you're trapped in a particular country trading against dollars, you can always go do a grain and then do an option spread and hedge yourself. This way, you're not really trading the commodity; you're trading the currency. And so that's what's going on there with the currencies. And so there you go. You see, yesterday March beans closed at 4. No, that's not. That's meal. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, traders. I just put meal up there. There's March beans. There we go. Okay, so it's popping too. So there's March beans. So yesterday they closed at 12.60, and now they're trading at 71. They're up 11 cents with a high of 75. So that's where we are, traders, when it comes to the new, as Mr. Obama used to call it, the new. Anything denominated in dollars has become a currency. And that's where we are at it. And so how to deal with that? Trade the options. Now, a lot of people did foolish things like sell calls thinking that they took in premium and they were hedged on the downside. You can't do that. You got to take that premium and buy puts with it. This way you're hedged. And if you're really smart, you will buy a little cheap call above it. And this way, if you're doing it with the corn at trading at, say, 375, then what happens is that you have the potential to make that 350 or 340 or 310 or whatever it was. Remember when oats were trading over corn back about 6-7 months ago? We were saying, "Oh my God, traders, don't get trapped. Don't go and sell future contracts. Go sell call spreads and buy puts with it." And was screaming. Can you imagine if you'd done that? Right now, you'd be making $1.25 more a bushel, $1.25 more, not a penny and a quarter more on your harvesting, or your marketing. All right, let's go over to Aussie CAD. I know we didn't get rid of that. We had that yesterday, so let's go find it. Right there. And let's go put it up on the screen here. We'll take a look at it through Dukascopy too. There is Aussie CAD. It's lifting up again today too. Look at that. Holding up in the daily buy. Been in that weekly buy. Let's throw it up on the J4X at the same time. First, let's show it to you that way better. There we go. And then let's go do that. Put it there. Aussie CAD. There it is. It's the number one right there. It's the first one of the whole list. What did Aussie do? I think it did something, didn't it? No, okay, there it is. There's CAD. Closed in a daily buy yesterday. Still, it was dropping, but it was still in a daily buy. 5 days in a sell, though. 5 weeks, I'm sorry, in a sell, so no. And then Aussie itself is 8 weeks in a buy, but 2 days in a sell now. So, and there you can see, if you're using Doc's idea, we use Al Einstein. Remember that crazy guy that was from Bavaria or something like that, had the 6 girlfriends. I think he was married to his cousin. I'm not sure if it was his second cousin or a third cousin, because the daughter of the cousin. You ever see that picture of him with her sitting on his lap when she's like 26? Don't exactly look like a cousinly thing. Let's put it that way. I think I have the picture around here somewhere. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like a family thing there. So definitely has a boyfriend girlfriend look to it. And so and she ain't exactly 6 years old. But anyway, this is the Al Einstein way of looking at it. And let me just expand that a little bit like that. It's relative. It's a sad thing. They've taken that word ever since Al. Do you know what Al's original paper was? Relativity paper was? It was called The Study of Objects in an Electromagnetic Field. That's his relativity paper. Somehow or another, they took it and called it relativity. And so everybody doesn't realize that he was just leaning on Maxwell and Faraday and Tesla when he was writing his relativity paper. Because the official paper is moving objects in a electromagnetic field. Okay? So, hey, there you go. Middle age, how you doing there? Happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas. Live cattle gain some. Yeah, I know. How about the hogs? I was saying that to Robin. Robin and I put out a buy on the cattle 2 weeks ago. On bar charts. Let's go to that. Cancel there. Oh, and what are we doing? Oh, Stefan, is that good enough for you there? You get a chance to take a look at that. Let's give you the full flavor of it all. So there it is there. All good there? And that's it's at the highs. Look at that. It's moving up. It's been in a weekly buy from back here. So yeah. Took a while for it to chew through it, but then they got going. You can see it going into the ins and the outs. It goes into the sell, and it goes back into the buy, and so forth and so on. That's the way it rolls around here. And then let's go check out the meats. The meats. And there is, first of all, we have to hurt our elbow. We went into the buy here in cattle, so then we said get long cattle, because we were in the daily buy and the weekly buy, and we put that out in bar charts, and then it popped up. And then last week we did it in hogs. We put out the buy on Friday of be long, Friday afternoon, so you could get in, and we were in the same situation where it was in a daily buy and a weekly buy, and now hogs have gone up like 3 cents from it. Is it 3 cents or 5 cents? What is that? We've gone up from the 64, 65 area, 63 area, all the way up to the 68 area. Is that today? That's yesterday. Who knows what they're doing today? So, yep. So there it is. Let's see. Live cattle gained some in strength and back yesterday, and hogs moved up nice. Yeah, our math is really cool. You know, it is really cool. We do all kinds of things with it, and we're doing our. You know, Robin and I have been talking about doing this for decades. Not weeks, not months, but decades. Not years, decades. Talking about doing some type of little technical service. And so we're not charging an arm and a leg for it. We're barely charging a fingernail for it. I think we're charging like a nail clipper of a fingernail for it. We charge cheap too. We don't even drive everybody crazy. Because I used to get paid a couple $100,000 a month doing this. So now we're doing it for low numbers, and we keep a lot of clients. Can't complain, you know. I think we've only lost one or two. Is that right, Robin? How many have we lost compared to what we picked up out of since we started this 6-7 months ago? We lose two? Is it two? Out of it all? That's it. Because we're sure not charging a hell of a lot, that's for sure. But, you know, it's fun. We get a chance to combine it together with education, and we make money. We're old men anyway. We're all a bunch of old retirees. Oh, you know what? We could probably find it. Let me show you what we did. Was it you? Who was it? Middle age. Was it you that asked for it? Let me go open it up. I found cotton. Who was asking for cotton? I put the ETF in there, which is kind of cool because you got to figure during the New York hours it's matching the futures contract. So here we go. I bet we could find an ETF for coffee. Did I open that up right, or did I do that wrong? I think I did that wrong. Let's try that again. Open. Oh, there it is. It's in the stock combo. I think it's in the stock combo, is it? Yeah, it's in stock combo. Okay, here we go. So it's in Robin stock combo. Damn, those hogs look strong. Let me go back to that. Look at that gap up. Damn. Like, damn. All right, there you go. This is that's Brazil ETF. And there it is, BAL. BAL is cotton. Look at that. It's kind of interesting. You know, it was in the buy there, and every buy was a good, no, I don't know, but it was a good buy. I guess it was an okay buy. Let's scrunch that up a little bit. So it went into the buy. It was in a buy there, and then it finally went into the sell here. Let's see how that did, and we'll change that color. And then it went back into the buy there, and then it stayed in a buy all the way to here. So let's do that. And let's see how the dailies matched up. Was it you that asked for the BAL? Whoop. Let's try that again. Right there. Right there. Make it a little fatter. Fatten it up to go to market. Friend of mine, we were cruising around in the pickup truck. I guess it was like, you know, one night after trading. And he's got this really nice drone. And he likes to go look at the swans down along the inlets, I guess you could say, near Salem. So, and we go on this old highway. It's like 270 years old. It's called the King's Highway. The King of England made it back around 1730 or something like that, 1740. So his son could come over right after the French Indian War. He made it, and then so it's got all these old farms that have some really fun entrances to them because they've been around for a couple hundred years. And his farm is right on the edge of what is called the frontier, because we still have the militia to this day, and they're just a legal militia by the Congress. That it used to be the Gloucester Philadelphia Hunt Club. You can look that up on your Google. It's one of the oldest militias in America. And now they're part of the Air Cavalry of Pennsylvania Air Cavalry for the National Guard. And so anyway, his farm is right on the dividing point of the second oldest settlement in the New World. The first old settlement in the New World was Jamestown. And the second oldest settlement is where I live, is the Gloucester, Philadelphia one. And then the third one was Plymouth Rock. So anyway, we go out there. He's got this really nice drone. Goes up, and connects to his iPhone the whole bit. We're always out there looking at things. It's always fun. And we were counting cattle one day for the hell of it with the drone. You can drive and the drone follows us. It can move at 60 miles an hour at one point or another. The drone can. So we were counting cattle because we had to guess how much cattle was out there all over the place. So anyway, that's how crazy farm around here it is. Yeah, the cotton. That's right. So we could probably find coffee too. There's an ETF for all of them. There's an ETF for orange juice. All the ice futures contracts that we can't get have ETFs. And so let's go back to that. Let me fix that. I was just reminiscing because it's a holiday about the cattle. So we're out hunting cattle, trying to with the drone, because it's like 300 feet up, and matter of fact, was it 2 days ago? He calls me. He's like about a mile and a half from here, and he's chasing the snow geese because the snow geese come here to winter. And so he's out there chasing them with his drone. There's like 2 million of them. I said, "What are you doing?" And then all of a sudden I can hear it. They were like about a mile and a half away, and I can hear them coming over the farm here. It's like, what are you doing? Then he lost the drone. He couldn't figure out where it got to. It was in between all the geese. So he hit the button where it goes 60 miles an hour, and then what it does is then what it'll do is it'll go run at 60 miles an hour, then stop, and then land where it originally landed. Because sometimes we run it at night. It has some nice flashing lights on it. And so we'll run it like, a mile out and just watch it and see until we can't see it anymore. And then just hit the button and it'll run back and come back, So, yeah, you got nothing better to do around a fire out in the field, Yeah. Anyway, and we're not even drinking. That's the worst part about it. We're not even getting drunk or anything. So that makes it really sad, I guess. Sure do strange things around here for entertainment. Anyway, it went into the sell here, right? And it was still in a buy here, and it went into that daily buy, so it caught that move. So that was a pretty good move. And then we went into the daily sell off the top here, right? That top right there in bail. And then we went into the weekly sell, but it didn't really do too good a job. Then 2 weeks later, we're back in the buy again, and it went from, let's move that over so we can see that better. So then it went into the buy where it relates to 38 and ran all the way up to 42. That's a decent appreciation in the weekly buy. Then it went into the sell again there. I think if you're trading these particular products and you're doing it with the options and the futures combined together, making synthetics, you could use the ETF as a guide. And we could also, I have one machine here that I probably could crank up if you guys are really interested in it, but might have to charge you a little bit more money. We could probably figure something out if you really wanted to see this stuff and you trade it. So talk to Robin. We can always figure something out if you're that set on trading that. As far as I'm concerned, I always say the same thing to everybody for decades. I can spend profits on Apple computer just as easy, Apple stock just as easily as I do on soybeans. So in other words, I don't have to trade soybeans or I don't have to trade Apple to be able to spend the profits. The profits spend just as easily in the same product, each product. So it doesn't really matter how you make your money, as long as you make your money. That's the idea, traders. As long as you're making your money. So let's see. Am I answering everybody's question, or am I just being ridiculous for a holiday here? I see. I was Doc, just out of curiosity. Let's see. Thanks. Okay, that's what it was. It was you, Phil, about the cotton then. Cool. Okay. And so then ETF cotton, yeah. Yeah, so there it is. That's not bad. That's pretty accurate. And I bet if we throw coffee up there, we could go probably find the coffee ETF and do the same thing for you. So if you want me to hunt down coffee, just let me know. We can go do that. That's a really strange crop. I mean, the Kenya coffee. I owned I still do, I guess. I own a tea company. Um, we get, what do we get? What do they call them? I used to follow the tea market. We bought them directly from, uh, where the hell did we buy them from? Directly from somewhere in India. Amritsar? No, the Pakistanis are always shelling it, or getting close to it. They're always firing something at them over in India. And so anyway, we used to get, what did it casts? No, we have these really strange wooden boxes that comes in. Matter of fact, we hired Titleist, the golf club manufacturer and golf ball manufacturer. They they produced our conveyor belt system, or our automated system. And our tea machine, we were fighting with Lipton for a long time, back and forth suing each other. Lipton Tea Company, and I'm probably like the poorest of the 6 or 7 investors in it. The rest of them are all billionaires. And so we still have the tea company. I don't think we're manufacturing at the moment. We had a name for it, but I used to follow the London market. They used to give quotes of tea every week, and I used to chart that. So we can find a way. If you need to follow coffee because you might own a coffee operation or something, let me know. We can figure that out. That's not that hard. We can figure it out. We'll probably charge you for it, for whatever time it steals from us, but it's not an arm and a leg. It's not like I'm charging 200 grand a month. It's more like, on Chicago Quant level, like $150 or something like that a month, or, 250 or something like that. We can come up with something. Because you know what'll happen? If we're charting it for you, then I'll probably trade it. So I'll make money on the side anyway. So just a part of the game, I guess you can say. I mean, in other words, if we follow cotton, I'll probably trade it. I'll find a way to trade it for myself. So it's kind of just pushes me towards another market. That's all. So if we just charge you the expenses of doing it and the time that we put into it and nothing more, it's not like I'm charging you 200 grand a month. Believe me, I did that for years. Let's see, where are we at now? All right, anybody want to see anything particular? Anybody got a currency you'd like to see, or did we look at gold or silver? I don't think we even looked at gold or silver yet, did we? Let's take a look at gold and silver. I know silver jumped yesterday. Let's go take a look at silver. Just as it looked like it was rolling over. Oh, now look at that. Now the daily's trying to go down again. Let's refresh that. But then it's Christmas Eve, so I mean, how much can you trust that, So they popped it back up there. And I see it was in the sell, it was in the buy. Look, it's all sloppy. It's in the weekly buy, so you can't really take any shorts in that thing. You can take profits. Now let's look at gold. Gold yesterday looked like it was threatening. Yeah, it's right on the edge, right there. And the weekly's right on the edge. But then look how tight the time manifold is. It's really getting tighter and tighter. Let's see. Let's scrunch that puppy up. See, relative. Like that Al Einstein thing, Relative. And that doesn't mean he's fooling around with the relatives. It could mean. Maybe that's why they called it relative. Because he was fooling around with the relatives. That's probably it. I mean, the guy... Did you ever see these 6 girlfriends of his? So he's living with his cousin. Seems like he's dating his third cousin, the cousin's daughter. And he's got 6 girlfriends. And he's got all these letters, documenting his 6 girlfriends that he had at the same time. I mean, this guy came to America and he did nothing. He goofed off. For from 1933 to 1955, we got a dud for 22 years. And then I was talking with what's his name? Freeman. May he rest in peace. Freeman's birthday was last week. Freeman died about 7-8 months ago. Freeman Dyson was at the Institute with Al Einstein, and he one of his biggest regrets is that they couldn't get Einstein to do anything. He wouldn't talk to anybody. So then Freeman, who had like 5-6 kids, and one son made the vacuum cleaner company, So Freeman's son was Einstein's secretary, who was probably stupid also, was Freeman's babysitter. So basically, everybody knows mostly what Einstein was doing through the babysitter. So the babysitter was telling everybody what Einstein was doing, and Einstein wasn't talking to anybody. So we got stuck with a dud for 22 years. He was doing nothing. What he was doing, he was getting arrested on the Finger Lakes. He was getting in trouble all the time, and no one was arresting him because he was Al Einstein. So anyway, hell, they probably, you know what? I bet that was a joke between Planck. Is it bad to talk about bad? It's bad to talk about somebody during a holiday, isn't it? I guess I shouldn't be doing this. Anyway, I'm out there drifting in space anyway. Anyway, let's see. Oh, let's see what else it says on the chat line here. Let's see what we got here. Robin says, "Is that? Let's see. Thanks, coffee. Oh, here we go. Merry Christmas, Robin. Same to you. Same to you. Thanks, Robin. Miss out on the coffee starting epic. Okay, we can look at that. Okay. I was, Doc, just out of curiosity. Well, we'll go hunt down coffee over the 3-day holiday here. And maybe we'll have a ETF for you on Monday on coffee. How's that sound? And this is Phil says, Doc, Bale, ETF, cotton. Okay, thanks. Gold, yep. And didn't we just look at gold? Yeah, we got it up there now. Okay, so that's it. And it's all relative, really. But I just had another idea. I figured out a while ago why Einstein was getting locked up, getting arrested for his stuff on the Finger Lakes up in New York State. He used to get arrested for that. So then because it was Al Einstein, they stopped arresting him and they just fined him. And so he was doing something. I think he was trying to figure out his old formula of matter. And so I think that's what he was doing. But I'm not going to get into that. But now I think I've figured out just this moment why they called it relative instead of its original name. His original paper's name was Moving Objects in Electromagnetic Field. That's his relativity paper. But maybe they called it relative because he was getting it on with the relatives. I think that's the answer. Because they all knew what the hell he was doing. It's a family show here, so I can't get any further than that. But I should show you the picture. Can I show you the picture of what I'm talking about? I got a picture of it. It's a pretty provocative picture. You know what? Monday, you tune in. We're going to put the picture of him and his niece. And then he was married to his niece's mother. But it definitely doesn't look like... She's like 27 years old, and that's not exactly a picture of cousins. Let's put it that way. All right. Anyway, this has all been relative. This is Doc from North America. Unless you got another question, I'm going to zip out of here. Oh, you got one. So gold could be breaking out because of time manifold narrowing. Yes. Right. Exactly. Also, the holiday season. Let's look at that. There's the weekly. You can see the daily, like before this big gap down on the gold. Look how tight the time manifold was. Let's do this. Let's move this up. Move this one down. And there's your time manifold. See how tight that is? When it gets tight like that, you put your volatility spreads on. That's why options are a gig. You can do synthetics. You can buy calls, sell the futures, sell the crop, buy calls. Hence, notice the key there. Buy calls, not sell calls. If you buy a call, you're allowed to sell another call. If you sell a call, you can buy another call. But don't be naked a call thinking you're hedged. It's not real. It's like trying to... I don't know. You ever notice when you're doing no-till? Just as when you think it's working. Sometimes it does work really well, no-till. Sometimes it doesn't. It depends on phosphates and all that other stuff. But anyway, don't think that you're hedging yourself just because you sold a bunch of calls. That ain't it, because you're already long crop. So that's a buy right, which means, guess what? I know it sounds a little complicated, but that turns it into a buy right. And you know what a buy right means? It means you're short a put. Well, that's not exactly how you hedge to be long, by being short a put. So let me say that again over once. Selling calls against your market or your crop is not a hedge. All right? It's not a hedge. All right? and you're long a crop, which means you're like long the future in a sense, and at the same time you're selling calls, what does that do? It makes you naked a put. And you don't want to be naked a put to be hedged. That's a no-no. That's like Einstein dealing with his third cousin. That's a no-no. Don't do that. Okay? Everybody got that understood? It's like playing with your third cousin. Don't do it. All right. So, yes, that's what it is right there. You see the time manifold getting tight. Now, this is me playing with my fractional geometry. So it's a mirror image. And it has a characteristic of taking my dots in my math. And it's telling us that something's going on, just like when they're super expanded. When they're super expanded, it usually kind of means we're coming to the end of the crop there. It's kind of coming to yield. In this case here, it's you can see here it tried to top out, and then it's going down and getting tight. And what happens when it's starting to get tight here? We get into this daily buy. We're in the weekly buy, and what do? We get a massive move out of it from the tightness developing right there. Probably let's put a line in there. It looks like about 4 days into it. I guess like right there. And let's change that like so and make it a big thick white line, or a thick dotted like that. There we go. And so notice it comes to the tightness 2 days into it, and then it explodes. The next day it's starting to lift off. We're already in a weekly and daily buy, and look at the run you get. You get it from 1900 to 2100. Wow. Is that right? 1900 to 2100 from that explosion of the tightness. And it's relative again. It tried to do it here too. We move that line back over to here. It tried to do it there. When it starts to expand, you get a $65, $75 move out of gold like that. So if you do bull spreads, we buy them dirt cheap, call bull spreads dirt cheap, for like, $4 or $3. Next thing you know, it's worth $60. Wouldn't you like to catch the $57? Everybody getting that? It's relative. Back to that again. I'm going to have to find you the picture. I can see it on the computer that I'm watching you guys on the chat line, but I don't think I have it over here. Let me just go check and see. When you see this picture, you're going to be like, oh, wow. That's not exactly kissing cousins. That's kissing cousins. That's what that is. All right. This is Doc from North America. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Happy trails to you until we meet again, which will be Monday. Happy trails to you, to all.